This is Daybreak Asia. I'm Sophie Kamaruddin in Hong Kong.
And I'm Paul Allen in Sydney. Well, Singapore banks capped a positive earnings season with some better than expected numbers. Joining us now from there is Bloomberg Intelligence senior analyst Diksha Gera. Diksha, we have beats from OCBC, UOB and DBS, so pretty good performance all round. What are your key takeaways?
Yeah, hi, very good morning. So yes, the numbers are quite interesting. OCBC's 3 basis points margin gain is very welcome. If you look at it, they've been kind of catching up with DBS, even though if it's a little bit delayed. So if you see from the start of 2017 until now, they've done about 13 basis points of margin gains, and DBS is at 20. So that's a very interesting takeaway. But the rock star today was UOB. They had about 8-9% of profit growth, which I think the street did not expect. And I had highlighted on Monday that I think they could outperform in this quarter. Non-interest income was very good, but they had a 2 basis points margin gain as well, likely because they repriced their mortgages upwards. And the other element was on the property loan growth. That was really solid for UOB. So I think a couple of these factors have really worked out well for the banks, and yeah, very good numbers.
Well, Diksha, also on the earnings calendar, State Bank of India set to report later Friday. What do you expect?
So that's another one. Basically, if you look at the last year's 49 billion rupees loss, I think they will have a pretty strong rebound from that level. Across several metrics, things are going to work out fine for SBI in my view. So asset quality is obviously one factor. The new NPL formation should ease here on. But also this quarter, they should see a substantial treasury gain, which should boost their profitability. So I expect a pretty strong set of numbers. And the one thing I would watch out for is how much margin gains can they bring out, because they repriced their deposits as well in this quarter. So those are the 3 key things I would watch out for SBI.
Now, Diksha, next week we have a string of central banks in Asia Pacific due to make their policy decisions, including the RBI and RBA. After the Fed's rate cuts, what does that mean for the region's central banks?
So I think if you look at Powell's comments yesterday, that was really interesting. He said this is not the start of a prolonged easing cycle, which I think is the key thing I would take away from that. We've already seen quite a few central banks cut rates, right? So India, Australia are right at the forehand, like 75 basis points and 50. I think they can go further. Our economist expects another 50 basis points from India up until the end of the fiscal year. And I think the vulnerability, especially for the exporting economies that are exposed to China trade, there is room to go.
Thank you so much, Diksha Gera, Bloomberg Intelligence senior banks analyst. Now joining us also from Singapore is Jeffrey